next session, which is Seedhi Baat, a fireside chat on Vital. So already, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because it's time for some Seedhi Baat. No filters, no sugarcoating, just straight up facts and real talk about two most game-changing buildings in smart building space, which the Vital has signed up recently.
Fun fact to kick things off. Did you know that global smart building market is projected to hit a whopping $265 billion by 2028?
Wow.
That's the future we are heading towards right now.
Today, we are bringing you something special. A fireside chat that's going to be as real as it gets. We are not here to talk theory. We are here to break down real life case studies that are reshaping how we think about smart infrastructure. This building aren't just blueprints. They are the future. And they are setting the bars high for developments to come. So grab your attention and get ready for some bold, unfiltered insights from our esteemed panelists. This is going to be a conversation that's now, it's going to be a very raw, relevant, and I must say, a little bit revolutionary. So let's dive into Seedhi Baat now.
I invite Mr. Joseph Martin, who has over 30 years of experience in launching and architecting technology projects. He has global perspective on the challenges faced by the real estate industry and believes that the technology can help to overcome those challenges. Joseph's dedication to pushing the boundaries of what's possible in building automation embodies the spirit of progress and advancement celebrated at Smart Building Summit 2024.
Let's welcome Joseph Martin, sir, with a round of applause. And on other side of Fire Chat, we have Mr. Rakesh Bhatia. Rakesh Bhatia, a Senior Vice President, heading Strategy and Innovation at EcoFirst Services Limited, a Tata enterprise. His massive transformative purpose to catalyze our decarbonized and net zero world, though innovative designs and strategic consulting, empowering organizations to embrace sustainable practices, reduce emissions, and create lasting positive change. So a big round of applause for Rakesh Bhatia, sir.
Welcome, sir, on board.
So we assume there is going to be a lot of fire, so let's be on the side of the stage, please.
Pani bhi rakha hai, just in case the fire gets too much.
So before we begin the fireside chat, let's put the house on fire first so that we can all enjoy this chat. So we are going to show a lighthouse implementation. So the idea is that we've been talking a lot about decarbonization, about initiatives on sustainability, about automation. But let's look at a lighthouse project. So what is a lighthouse project? We've already implemented what was discussed is the future. So you can see what people are talking about will get built out in 2027, 28. It's already here. So I would just like to draw your attention to this 1 minute video, all of you, so that you all can understand how an implementation looks like and what it can bring about. So let's look at a command and control center implementation, which is a first of its kind, the largest in any part of India, that is what we can tell you. And it can control data from any part of the globe. So this is now built in Mumbai. Thanks to Martin sir for his support for envisioning such a command and control center from the house of Hiranandani. And this is at one of the lighthouse projects which we'll be happy to showcase. So why don't you play the video? So you see there is a complete dedicated center.
Lightbridge Central Control Command Center, the largest that has been commissioned till date.
You can see any data pertinent to
aspiration systems.
health and wellness, sustainability, energy, water, HVAC, carbon. So this is a unique implementation. It's like a great command and control center put up.
Incidentally, this is our 5th command and control center. So any of this command and control center we can operate from anywhere. So not necessarily that person is sitting at this place. For example, this is a building owned by us. Also, Crystal is one of the anchor tenant here. This is that building, the latest one. We just got it operational a couple of days back.
So the idea of showcasing this is that whatever is being spoken in the automation community is already built out over there as a lighthouse project. Now, the power of industrial automation, the power of IIoT, all can be seen over here. Now, this command and control center, although is inside a building which is, as Martin sir said, Chrysler, it is located in Andheri at Mumbai. The 5th command and control center implemented by HOH. However, the wonderful fact is that it can have alerts of any global site which can be brought into this command center. So another small snapshot I would like you to see. Please show the picture. Now
This
you see,
case is very relevant because of the rain what is happening right
yesterday,
now in Chennai.
yeah, you see there was a lot of buzz that Chennai is going to receive a lot of flooding, a lot of rains, and we have a critical application which is called the Hiranandani Logistics Park in Chennai, and this is something called the inside the drain we have actually put level sensors. Now why we are showcasing that is that it is actually giving me an early warning system for failures, for managing the risk better. Now imagine if I could generate early warning system alerts. You can see actually this is coming as a pictorial on my Telegram alert. So which is coming to sir, which is coming to the system integrator, coming to me because we've implemented it.
And all the facility managers.
And all the facility managers. Now this is giving us an indication that if there is a immediate water rise in the drains, then some protection measures can be taken already. We can inform the client. This is very suitable for applications like warehouses and like data centers because there we have 24/7 critical infrastructure and we can take action about it. The idea of showcasing this is that you name any end user application and we have the system which has been co-created over here by Martin sir, and it can take that application and we can create an alert and display system. So gone are the days when we are just talking energy monitoring. Gone are the days when we are just talking about water. Now everything and anything can be brought on this dashboard. That is the kind of setup which we have put up in line with the latest what we are doing, just trending in the globe. So whatever is possible now at the global level, we have the capability to do it over here in India. So this was the basis of why we selected this lighthouse project for the first vital certified building. So many congratulations, Martin sir, for this achievement. And we will talk about vital tomorrow morning. I have a special half an hour slot. But why today we are meeting is I want to just discuss the challenges and why the vision was made to create this entire program. So I invite you, Martin sir, to sit and now discuss.
So this is not the only one we are talking about. So when we talk about automation in many of the forums, many of the discussion happened some time back. We were more focusing on sustainability and then and related to energy and then these parameters. Of course, that does matter, that do matter. But at the same time, we just for a commercial premises of approximately 10 lakh square feet, there are 23 areas where we have done the automation. So some of the services, probably are very dumb devices which cannot communicate to the external world. We ensured that is communicating to the latest cloud environment. So we have created a platform for that. And there are also very smart environments. Some of the lifts are nowadays very smart. Some of the AQI sensors are very smart, can directly give me the data. But it is not just giving me information, it is also processing it, giving me an insight of what is happening, the cost of running it.
I will just organize that as a list of innovations.
Yeah, okay.
So we will start that. So as part of the chat, the first question which I would like to ask Martin sir is, because you are the leading first mover in achieving this smart building rating. But can you share the journey that why did you follow this path, or what inspired your decision to pursue this certification? So let me tell you that Vital is not the only certification which these buildings are getting. They are getting health and well-being from IGBC. Just day before yesterday, Martin sir picked up the plaque for Wired, which is an international certification again. So I would like to just understand that what is it that sets the vision for you, Martin sir? Why did you select this?
So when we are talking about smart building, we are not just creating a building and then say this is very smart. So we are getting it certified through available even some global international certifying agencies, the best of the best Indian certification agency for some of the area, and then Vital is the new addition, what is happening right now. Now I'll just give a small background of the whole real estate industry per se, because more or less we are talking about building automation. So I'm sure real estate developers like us play a big role in the whole environment. This was never called as an industry first of all. Recently, this happened to be a family-driven business most of the time. You will see one Rahejas or one Hiranandanis or one Lokanwalas or Lodhas driving the show. That used to be the practice. Now, coming from that conventional environment, because of the exposure to the global environment, you are exposed to the challenges of the global village rather. And then you are coming to a situation being to compete the rest of the world, not only within India. Now, the challenge what is coming to us is the product what we build. And second challenge, the customer requirement that is coming from a tenant perspective or a buyer perspective. Third, the very, very frequent regulatory and compliances requirement that is coming. In the last session somewhere I heard that now the sustainability part and then zero carbon achievement and all are going to be, you have no choice but you have to do. So these sort of compliances are becoming very stronger and stronger. And then finally, the cost of running it, cost of maintaining it efficiently is also a big challenge. So these multiple challenges are, and then this keep on coming. And then also how fast, your turnaround times in each of this particular case, how fast you can come back to that particular scenario. All these were the real, drivers for thinking about the smart score environment. So as on today, it is not right now it could be a choice, but I think that this is going to be more or less a standard, or by default it is going to happen.
So, yes, the Smart Score certification system which we have built for Vital, it is actually trying to capture a lot of innovations which are existing in such projects. Can you list a few innovations which perhaps you are the first one to do it, and then you can become the leading benchmarking example for other developers to follow? So there are a lot of key innovations which have got built into the system over here.
We built our first smart building 2.5 years, 3 years back, 2 years back approximately. Whatever the technology we talked about in the past session, let us talk about an IoT, let us talk about sensors, let us talk about ML, let us talk about AI, let us talk about cloud, let us talk about fiber, let's talk about network. Everything is a part of that. So, primarily, as I mentioned some time back, we have almost identified almost 25 to 27 points where this automation play a big role. We started with 4 or 5, then suddenly we realized the requirement of, if this has happened, why not this also? Why not this also? So we made a big Christmas tree, I would call it as. Now we keep on adding the gifts on every Christmas. That's what is happening right now. So when you walk in, your entry level, your access control system, your vehicle entry system, the moment you enter into a building, you are counted, you are monitored, you are identified. Then subsequently, the quality of air, we talk about the AQI sensors and parameters, that sort of thing. Then subsequently, the AI cameras which are installed on the lobby, the lighting control, the HVAC control, the fresh air ventilation system, now the dumb devices like motor pump. We have made it so intelligent that we are even in a position to predict the failure of a motor. I mean, the pump which just pumps water. You may be wondering why we use some simple logic like, we did not go to a great scientist or anyone to identify that. We just measure the temperature, we just measure the current going through that, and then we measure the decibels of sound, what is coming, and then the ML platform, what has been created, is now capable of telling me a predictive analysis of failure of the motor, which is right now it's almost 90 to 95% of accuracy, which we believe it's quite interesting. We used to have a scenario of keeping 2 plus 2 backup. 2 plus 2 backup means you have one pump already working, the second one is a standby in some of the cases, and then backup again for that. Now this 2 plus 2 has gone and it's only 1 plus 1 right now, because we are able to see what is the... So let us talk, you can even lift anything what you can talk about. If you have attended any of my previous presentations, I have given that in details, what all items we do, what all do for each items has been. So it is not necessary your end devices have to be smarter, you can make it smart. Most of the buildings, again, typical industry's problem, these buildings, equipment, services, all working in silos. So everyone believe my product is the best and I have the best. And I don't want to communicate to you because I may lose my competitive edge. So I don't want to talk to you. So because probably if I talk to you, you may find something more, or you may build something on top of it. So these sort of issues are typical challenges what is happening to the environment. More or less, these factors also we have identified and then tagged with the right platform in place.
So what we are trying to say over here is that perhaps Vital will be one platform where the building innovations could be brought out into the open and shared with everyone, so that the building sector as a whole, the industry of commercial buildings or residential buildings, or as we are showcasing tomorrow, that it will be applicable to industry 4.0, 5.0, the upcoming automation in the industry level, or whether it be healthcare or institutional projects, it will all be brought together. And this can be adopted by anyone who's trying to put Vital on their building roadmap. So these are some of the innovations which we will recognize it over here. Coming to the next one, Martin sir, see, unless and until we don't see a use case or a benefit, how will the developer make a decision whether he should go for it or no? So what I'm trying to bring the point over here is that, do we see any business impact or operational impact or advantages of adopting smart into our buildings? Have you noticed anything significantly differently as the buildings have evolved? So our first building got rated 2.5 years back, which was Quantum, till now. So what has been the change which you've observed?
I will not tell the cost saving only is the value per se. I would say I have mentioned some 4 points which those were our initial challenges, what we are facing in terms of, I talked about how we differentiate ourselves from the rest of the crowd. We call it as a tier 1 developer. But at the same time, the innovation, there is a limit of innovation we can do at that level. You may provide maybe best of the marble today, some more better marble, more expensive marble or something. A lot of new decoration can come. But all these are easily copyable and this subsequently followed immediately by my competitor. So how do we create that value differently? So on the differentiation side, yes, it's indirectly benefits me in terms of my cost. I ensure that my premium is still continuing at that side. So there is a big benefit there. So we are able to continue our strategy of the differentiator in the segment and continue to do that. This is a very good area where we can continue to do that, because on a technology side, there is no limit. I mean, marble or whatever, the rest of the thing, there is a limit what you can do. Here, there is no limit. And then while you have already implemented it, that still you have a scope for upgrading to the different level once you create the right thing. Then again, next also is not the cost, demand from customers. If I am able to fulfill the demands of my customers to the global standards, my conversion time is much easier, faster, and effectively bargain is less. Because if a global company come and then to a due diligence for a place, the parameters they look at very quickly, they are able to approach that. So again, that is not a direct cost saving, yes, but immediately there is a big cost sort of. And from the regulatory side, while doing all this activity, I am in touch with, or rather I'm in line with the future regulatory requirement in terms of sustainability or any other aspects coming. Today, a simple thing like recent development, what you have done, we have been doing the fire alarm system integration with IoT sensors, and then that technically talk about the availability of all devices working, your fire alarm is working, whether there is a fire in the adjacent building, lot of things comes into that. Also, one of the parameters is that whether you have sufficient water in the water tank. So most of the building, once the OC comes, once the fire officer certify the building, rest we don't really look at whether there is water in the tank at the right time for fighting and all this stuff. Now some of the amendment that has happened recently as far as Mumbai is concerned, that in case of any fire event, the fire officer is going to ask what was my storage capacity, whether there was water before the fire. So all these parameters are not going to be information lying in my premise, is going to be available to them in real time. So these sort of things, when they launched it, we were very happy because we have done much ahead of the time. And then we could very well see rather this is the model probably is very much workable. We are able to give better input to that rest of the community per se. So the compliances becomes much easier for me. And efficiency of handling 100%, yes, things are very different. We are not totally depending on a facility manager or his convenience to maintain the system, operate the system, control the system, or assess the system sort of thing. All these finally definitely get into a proper ROI. I mean, these all I'm talking not even considering as an ROI, but finally there is a cost saving in terms of my people, in terms of my less failure, in terms of my less usage of resources, etc. sort of thing. So initially, even developers like Hiranandani, where we normally don't have a cash issue, still we were not sure about whether to do this or not, or whether it is going to give a real value to the whole system. But at the same time, we have an inherent nature of taking risk for the technology on the other side, and then again, and then that was the most successful story. And then that is the reason why, by default, any commercial building what Hiranandani make, This is the standard defined in our scope of work, or you can call the product specifications. And not only that, we we created two different versions out from this. One is for the commercial, which is an extensive portfolio of integration. And the second one is for the industrial park. Their needs are different. The water what you show is the real feed from industrial park, what is coming. And then third one, we are currently creating one for the residential segment also. So we know it is not practical or commercially viable to do whatever we are doing in a commercial building or a industrial park to a residential. So we have carved out a different model to work on that. So these are the simple things, very much doable everywhere. When I'm creating a small model of this in the residential segment, I know I'm getting a premium for that. All these points, whatever I said, the differentiator comes to me, the efficiency comes to me, everything comes to me, which is nothing but a cost benefit to me or a value for me. I will put it as a value rather than the cost.
So the benefits are for everyone to see. The proof of the pudding lies in the results. So we are actually seeing almost 100% occupancy in the building at Thane, which got certified. And the benefits are for the tenants to come and experience and see it. Earlier, the trend was that tenants or the folks who were trying to take the space on lease, they used to bring a big checklist of whether the building has such features. Now it has become the reverse. Now Hiranandani gives a list that this is what my building is, and it is much better than your checklist, and please come and invest into our building and either buy the space or lease out the space. So this is one benefit which I have remarkably seen over the last 2 to 3 years.
So this certification play a big role. Even see, you may be doing your best. I'm just giving an example of for in our daily life. You may be a highly intelligent person. Your knowledge may be super than a common human being. But at the same time, when you finally go somewhere for an interview or introduction or anything of that sort, people will look at definitely your knowledge. People will also look at from which college you are, whether you are a graduate or a postgraduate or a degree holder. So I'm talking about a certificate. And when it is this, when XYZ is brilliant or intelligent or capable, if a particular university approve it or stamp it, that is what, when the rest of the world recognize you. So same is the case here, I would say, as in this certification case as well.
The next point, very interesting, is like when we created the vital score, now there are many government initiatives which we are aligning it with, because we wanted recognition from that point of view also. So here are a few small lists, because we want to create a full ecosystem. So the knowledge should not remain confined within a small group who are the first lighthouse projects, but we want to create an ecosystem. So we call it the Skill India program alignment. So everyone who wants to capture this can implement it at their projects. So hence the Skill India initiative, it is in alignment with. The next one, which Martin sir was responsible, the Digital India. We all see that the government is pushing for Digital India. That is how more and more, whether it be Rustamji doing the BIM practice in a very detailed fashion across their projects, or here digitization in operations completely, which is live. So we are seeing that this program is going to push the Digital India initiative alignment also. The other important part is the Innovate India. Again, this is a new initiative of the Government of India. And what we are expecting is that let's bring all innovations together and basket it under Vital, and then let it be available to everyone so that they can also co-create these innovations and put it into their buildings. So these are some of the points which I wanted to draw out for the audience, that it is completely aligned with the various government initiatives as far as the vital implementation is concerned. Coming back to an important point, Martin sir, you've been an innovator over the last many years, trying to do something new in every building project which we do. Now, how do you foresee over the next 5 to 10 years how the smart buildings will be evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? Because this is going into the future, and predicting what is going to happen in the in the next coming 5 to 10 years. Any clues, or what is your next level of innovation you are looking at?
I'll put it in a very simple statement. Today we call a building a smart building or a building. I mean, tomorrow you will not use the word smart, but by default, because by default it is expected that is going to be smart in today's term. So whatever we are seeing the smartness today, tomorrow it is going to be, rather it is already a standard getting today. While we are talking, there could be something happening behind also. So that itself shows the message what I want to give. You will call one more building, better building, because smart, that is over, I think. We know, let it be a part of your compliance requirement. Let it be part of your improving the operational efficiency. Let us be part of your reducing the cost or attracting the investor, customer sort of thing, or attracting an investment. So the GRESS programs and all we are talking about typically talk about an investment based on many of these parameters. So it will be one more building, and then it is no more going to be an option available to you. This is going to be by default.
Very nice. An important aspect which was discussed during the day with Ashish, he clearly said that carbon tax is coming. Decarbonization buildings have to adopt very fast. Now it is voluntary, tomorrow it will become permanent or mandatory. Now, Vital has already thought about it. And what we've done is we've raised the bar completely. What we are saying is, if you bring any building into Vital, you have to submit at least your common area data. It has to be out into the open. That it should be available for inspection to the Vital team auditors, that your common area data, how is it performing, whether it be energy, water, waste. So these are some of so we are benchmarking it right at the top. What people are saying voluntary, we are saying it is mandatory today. No waiting for tomorrow to be mandatory. Today it is mandatory for us. So that is another thing which we realized, and we built it into the program. And happy to say that the entire sustainability reporting, whether it be your EPI performance, whether it be your carbon management, it's already there on the dashboards. So each building of Hiranandani can display that to anyone. Right now we are not storing it, but we are actually keeping it within the building, confined within the building. It is available for display on the cloud also. Perhaps tomorrow it could be a way of life that if your performance is not improving, then your rating will also deteriorate. So it could be a way ahead so that we can penalize the building's performance if they are not performing well. So this is another feature which we are.
It's an interesting point, Rakesh. See, what is happening in typical today's certification? You certify and then you qualify, and then the story is ended. And today you are a platinum certified for Wired or Vital or anyone for that matter. Not Vital, I'm not taking right now. The rest of the current certifications, then it is presumed that you are a platinum, a Wired score platinum for the rest of the time. But definitely my interest has gone the moment my property sold off and I got the stamp for though Wired score or anyone for that matter talk about, this is a X days validity, or there is a time frame they're talking about. Many of us may not renew it because we already got the stamp. I'm talking purely from a builder perspective. So, a very interesting thing I've noted in the Vital certification case, your plan of monitoring this on a continuous basis for ensuring that consistency of the standard. And that also real time, that's what I got from the partners working for Vital. So the data is available to you in real time in your dashboard, which talk about if your scoring is 100, maybe 90 out of 100 when you got the platinum. If you are coming down, it will also going to show you that today you are at silver. So that sort of thing give that ensure that arrangement is continuously available, the standards are continuously followed, that consistency is available to the whole environment. That's a very interesting thing. And then one more thing, what I found about Vital is that you have localized this to a great extent. When we get into most of these global standard certifications and all, we are just copying something which is not even relevant to Indian market. But at the same time, we have no choice. I will talk about in one of our case, the data security for the internet connection. So in some of the countries, they have a common internet connection coming and being shared for the offices and all, where it is applicable. Now here, if XYZ, if a Crystal is coming to premise, he is bringing his own security environment, and Airtel or a Tata or someone is going to give his internet bandwidth. We have no role to play except giving a secured conduit for possibly. So these sort of standards, something is not making any sense for an Indian context where you have addressed it very well in terms of making an Indianized version of that. So it's fantastic. It's a fantastic arrangement.
So one more key feature is that it will lay the guidelines for all future buildings, future capacity. So we all know tomorrow 6G is going to come in, tomorrow generative AI is going to come in. We require much more infrastructure coming into the building. So what it has been visualized or planned is that the future cabling systems need to be within the building ducts already, so that we don't have to dig again or we don't have to lay the pipes again. There is also a provision for getting multiple networks within the building. So this is all like future technologies for the next 5 to 10 years if anyone is trying to look at Vital implementation in their campus.
One point in the last one of the discussions on the sustainability side, not sustainability, before that I heard a question, how you ensure your building, or when you're doing all these automations, the technology is changing drastically, and then and how you're ensuring your technology is, you're able to ensure that continue the use of that for the future. So one thing, I'll just give again quick example for us to easily understand. You consider this as a highway and cars or vehicles in that. Only thing what we can do, definitely the cars, the models are going to change, the upgradation is going to come on that. Same way, in a smart building, end devices are definitely going to change one way or today I may use access control system, tomorrow it is going to, there could be some environment, the change, the rate of change may be lesser, but definitely it's going to change. But some of the thing which has been there for a long period of time, which is not changing, these are the communication paths. Like the example what I said, the road what we are making, you can make a good road, and they don't worry about whether it is a bullock cart is going. So if you have an old technology machine running, and then it's a bullock cart is going, or otherwise if you have a latest technology, you have a Ferrari going on the road. So your road should be capable of handling that. Same is the case here. So you make a robust infrastructure, one. You ensure that infrastructure is interoperable, two. And then you ensure there is the protocol what we are using are something reliable and then which has been existing for a long time. So let us talk about IP, for example. I mean, today also, IP is very, very, very relevant. I mean, it's almost 30, 35 years old, 40 plus years old technology. Still, it is relevant in today's environment. So just because of the worry of technology being obsolete, let's not run away from the automations, etc. sort of thing. As I told you, it deliver value either directly or indirectly. And then anyway, it is going to change. By you are not doing things, doesn't mean that technology is going to change. might as well swim with the flow rather than swimming in the opposite direction.
Great. So we have one more important question is because you took this journey first. What could be your advice to our fellow colleagues in the development community, developer community, that why they should certify their buildings under a smart building rating system? What could be your advice to them?
So again, simply speaking, the 4 points what I initially said, that should be your reason or challenge for getting into automation first. Then again, I said something like someone has to stamp it. We are doing the best. We are XYZ. We are Hiranandani. We are Lodas. We are some. I mean, people know to some extent, but they also see a similar Hiranandani-like building. So it is not finally Hiranandani building or Loda building. So that differentiator, that feeling, if need to be created, one third party has to definitely do a stamping sort of thing. And then those who are really serious about doing that, let us do the automation from the heart, not only by brain. There should be a clear intention. Intention is not just of showing something and then say we are automated, we are certified. No, that will not sustain for a long time. If you are really serious about that, दिमाग से और दिल से काम करो. That's going to be the thing. And that's one of the interesting, if you ask me, I did not get that question. Probably I was expecting that question. Since I have done the smart score and then since I won the vital, what is the difference? I'll put in single 2 lines. When I'm dealing with the INBAC team, I found they are working with dil se or dimag se. When I work with smart score, I found they are working with dimag se. So these make a lot of difference, and then let us do it with both. Only dil se nahi hota, dimag bhi hona chahiye. Let us do with the combination of the whole thing, and it is definitely going to give value at the end, no doubt in that. If that was not the case, we would not have been doing the 5th building in the last 2 years, and then we would not have made as a standardization of the specification of the building. So it definitely give result. And then don't talk about the price on day one in terms of, if you are not able to convert that into a cost, never discuss a cost. If you are only working on cost, you will not be able to start any of these projects. Otherwise you should be in a position to show lots of values. So values points also I've told you. So I can see very less builder community here, but at the same time, you will be interacting with these sort of builders most of the time, builders or any other sort of community. So let us don't only catch on the cost side. There you will miserably fail. The typical builder style, if you ask me, Martin, what is the ROI after doing this after 2.5 years, what is the ROI? If I just calculate an Excel sheet, I will show a loss in the whole environment. But if I say if I've created a value, which I have done, which has been convincingly done, so that is what the focus should be. So cost reduction is the last thing. By default, it is going to come. When we are doing so much, it is going to come. It is going to give a lot of other benefits in terms of, and then many things what we are giving is also back to the society and then community. Everything by default, it comes. Your CSR goals, sustainability, everything at one point of time, it is going to come. And then again, the backbone of all these initiatives, what been discussed throughout this day in terms of sustainability, the CSR, monitoring, carbon, whatever sort of thing. Finally, the automation will play a big role, and then you just cannot ignore it. So get the right technology, right integration partners, use the right platform, and then the rest I think it's a simple thing too. There is no big rocket science. I'm not a pure, an automation person or anything. I'm just a person with an IT background, but coincidentally, though I am the CIO for the group, it is not, my responsibility is only not limited to the IT. 50% of my time goes for automating the core business in terms of not only when we, again, on the IT front, we talk about automation, We only talk about software automation. Yeah, some process was happening, I automated it. No, I'm talking about the automation to the core business. The core business for us, it is primarily real estate. So we have hospitals, we have hotels, we have industrial park, now you can have data centers. So all this, finally, the value add is going to be the whole thing. And then one more thing again, when it can fail and why it is not taking off in most of the case for most of the real estates. This is something, is my personal feeling. In Hiranandani, the driving for this technology initiative, even for the core business, construction or real estate, whatever sort of thing, is driven by IT. So in some of the panel discussion, this was discussed. I mean, one of the consultant, I forgot his name, he was mentioning that MEP, they have a limitation, they have a set of knowledge, but today's environment, the other technology side, the IT, cloud, network, all these play a big role. And then most of the initiative is only driven through a conventional channel of MEP. It will not give you the right mileage. It has to be driven with the technology guys push. Ideally, ensure that someone from the ID from that organization is part. When you approach to your developers, builders, and then any factory automation or something, the translating this knowledge to the management can happen more effectively from an IT side. They understand it. I'm not saying they're great. They can translate and convince in a better way.
Sure, thank you.
So these are the few advices I would say from my experience, personal experience.
Sure. That is very valuable. One last closure point is tomorrow we are going to have a small discussion around Vital and its launch. We are going to launch it in December. We are accepting some EOI expression of interest from the development community, which we are floating tomorrow. On a closing note, we have not only thought about the building infrastructure, but at the tenant level or at the occupant level or at the residential level, what we are trying to integrate is something called the government's life program, which is the lifestyle for environment. This is the first time ever any rating program across the globe is tying up with the government, creating the government awareness within the communities where the program exists. It is called lifestyle for environment. There are certain points which have been reserved for that as a developer, as a community, you are trying to push awareness about the lifestyle for environment program of the government of India. And this will really create an impetus that all the stakeholders should be aware what the government is trying to say through this vital program. So I hope this was a very useful discussion for all of you all. And thank you, Martin sir, for being the leading light for generating the lighthouse projects, the first few ones.
It is not lighthouse, it's light bridge. Sorry.
The project name is Light Bridge.
For you, it's a lighthouse.
Our project is a lighthouse for rest of the projects. So that is how we are putting it. So thank you, Martin sir. And I hope you can make a visit to see for yourself the kind of innovation which has gone into this project. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
So may I request Sakhi to come up on stage and Harun sir to felicitate Martin sir and Rakesh sir.